All right, everybody, welcome back to another Tiptop Esports. This one's going to be the T1 lobby today. So thank you guys for tuning in and checking this out. First map today is going to be Erangel, and our first line of tonight is going to go from Lipovka all the way down a little bit above military base. So definitely not the ideal line to go ahead and start this off. But we should definitely see a whole lot of people right here within the middle part of the island. If anybody wants to head up to like North George, shooting range, Averni, anything like that, I do suspect they're going to go mostly looking for vehicles right off the bat right now. Other than that, let's go ahead and see where all these teams start dropping. So as far as I can tell right now, we do have, I think, two teams heading to the Novo area. So we should have some action pretty much right off the bat. Other than that, as far as I can tell, possibly two teams heading to the Yasnaya area. And first zone of today is going to be pretty much where everybody just dropped. We only have, what, 4 teams out at this point? So definitely kind of crazy. So it actually kind of favored the plane line, which is actually very rare in my opinion. I've seen a lot of it going completely opposite ways. So we're going to get some people run over here at the very beginning. I suspect they were going for a vehicle all at the same time. Nobody having any kind of weapons, and it's basically just going to be free kills right off the bat for whoever gets it first. And here we go with GC778 jumping out of the building, getting the guns first, trying to lay some shots onto Tiptop Black. As far as I could tell, nothing ended up landing, so they're going to go and continue their rotation forward. Other than that, they're going to end up in Roshawk over here with G2A Esports. As you can see, now they're going to go ahead and shift another way. They're already down one member over there. Hopefully they can get them back up. Unfortunately, I don't think these guys have any weapons yet, so hopefully they can find something pretty quick. So in the Asnaya area right now, we're going to have 3 teams. They're all split out. As you can see, Masters Esports going to be more split than the others. They're pretty much going to control the whole center of Yasnaya right there, whereas GC Killer is going to be on the left side, and Alpha Force is going to be controlling the right hand. So here we go. Tiptop Black gonna hop into that vehicle after getting some weapons, and they're gonna go ahead and get out of Roshawk while they have the opportunity. You can go ahead and see G2A Esports was slowly creeping up on that left-hand side right behind them. So not sure if they ended up getting that player back up because it definitely does look like it. But I believe there was only 3 of them in the Roshawk area at this point. So we're going to go ahead and rotate down here to Novo, check out what's going on with these 2 teams. We're going to be seeing a battle between Parabellum as well as Tiptop White. And I'm seeing a knock come out from G2A onto, I believe it's Tiptop Black. I'll have to go back over there and check in just a second. Looked like one of the players from Parabellum trying to go for that buggy before they can go ahead and land some shots on him, getting him down to probably about half HP at this point. Nothing too crazy, but fortunately he was able to get that vehicle. Definitely hope they didn't get any of the tires off of that thing, just in case they need to retreat out of here, just in case. And for everybody currently watching the stream, if you do type something in the chat, I do apologize. It's going to be a little longer than my normal delay. We're going to be running a 5-minute delay for this event rather than my normal 3. So don't think I am ignoring you because I'm definitely not. It'll just pop up on the stream 5 minutes after I respond. So while these guys are figuring stuff out over there, let me see what everybody else is currently up to on the map. We do have some of those teams currently right on top of each other in the Yasnaya area, so I'm most likely going to go over and switch to those guys. And as far as I can tell right now, Team 12, which is Knockout, going to be right on the other side of the bridge that the 100 are currently on top of. As you can see, the rest of their teammates are coming in right from behind. So we could potentially see them sandwiching them and taking them out one by one, getting multiple different angles on them. So Hayward trying to land some shots right there through the window with the UMP-45. And just happens that they backed off just a little bit. Invincible went to the compound just behind. Hurley and XT going to be in the 2-story right here on top of these guys. And one upstairs, one down. And it does look like the two teams on the bridge have started going at it. Not sure if I'll be able to get there in time. I might just abort this one and try to get there. And here comes the knock onto Invisible. It's just going to be down to XT. This team's going to go ahead and now push in and most likely storm upstairs. Let's see if XT can go ahead and pull off the 4v1 at this point. Going to go for the revive right now. Hopefully they can get that off before they start coming up the stairs. And here it goes. Gonna go ahead and try to get out the windows and gets caught on the way out. So very nice job right there for Parabellum. They're gonna go out with 4 kills at this point. Let's go over to the bridge and check out these two teams going at it. So as I said earlier, this is gonna be Knockout and the 100. What we were seeing earlier is 2 of the players from the 100 were currently on the bridge, whereas the other set of the duo from that team coming up from directly behind. And we're at the point where Knockout is going to be sandwiched in between these guys. And I'm pretty sure through the kill feed, we did see that one of the players from the 100 did go out. So we're going to be looking at a 4v3 at this point. All these smokes going to be coming out and basically just breaking off their lines of sight. And as you can see, Knockout is now gone ahead and rotated hard left, going to be coming up on the 100 right here on the left-hand side. It's going to be 2 knocks right off the bat. It's going to be down to Moji and down to just a couple HP. They do get him down. So now it is just down to 1 player right now for Knockout. He's going to be pushing forward and ends up getting the knock onto Zuku, and the team ends up working together to eliminate the last player right there from Knockout. So very nice attempt on Knockout's part. Did get one of the players out fairly early, but just was unfortunately able to get anything going right here at the end. They did get one of the players down to just a couple HP, and just turned out 2 of their players getting knocked, leaving the 3rd one all by themselves against a 2-man. Just gets a little tricky sometimes, especially when they're going back and forth over the hill, just like you saw. So very nice job right there to the 100 coming out on top of that one. So let's go up here to Yasnaya now, check in with these couple teams up here, see what's going on. And Masters Esports still going to be on top of GC Killer, as we saw on the map from earlier. We saw them end up rotating in this direction, which is going to push them all the way into the left side of Yasnaya. Definitely hope these guys have a vehicle back there behind the wall somewhere. They're really not going to have anywhere to rotate except back into the open field. So let's see what Masters Esports ends up doing here. And Alpha Force is still going to be back there. They are rotating kind of more towards the top of Yasnaya at this point. And, well, there we go. And GC Killer does have a vehicle, so they're just going to go ahead and get out of here. We're going to go ahead and see the next zone go ahead and hard shift all the way to the southeast. So Novo's still going to be in this one. All of Milta right there in the very center. And we already see a bunch of teams making the early rotation forward. I do suspect that we're going to see a giant cluster of teams right around here. Basically waiting kind of around that bridge area to see where this one ends up going and choosing their compounds like that. So the 100 definitely has a very good area in that zone right now. So they can either go ahead and swim to Novo, or all they have to do is go ahead and rotate north. So them getting there first, definitely going to be um, very, very good for what I suspect is going to be probably in the last zone, unless this thing shifts hard once again. So Parabellum is just going to go ahead and cross the bridge. In their minds, I'm guessing that they think this one's going to go north. Um, For a second, I did think a duo pair from that team was going to stay back in the compounds, but as you can see, they're now jumping their vehicles, making the rotation across the bridge, and looks like they're going to jump out on the right-hand side in that little dip on kind of like the water's edge cliff area right on that bridge side. Definitely a very good spot. Only problem is right where you see the 100. Depending on what kind of scopes they have, they should have a direct line of sight on those guys. Let me actually go check in with these guys and see how far that is away. So that is going to be some distance. I really don't think there should be anything rendering in that crazy far away. So let's go over here with Team 24. This is going to be Dark Knights. Ends up rotating right by the compound that Heart Shift is inside of. As you can see, one of their members did get tagged up pretty bad. Vehicle also smoking like crazy. Unfortunately, they are only in this match right now with a 3-man. Already did lose Evil off the team, so they're just going to be rocking with 2 for the rest of this one. Not seeing any other vehicles in the vicinity. So it may be a little tricky getting out of here, especially if that team starts to go ahead and push forward. Definitely not going to want to hop back into that vehicle. It'll make easy pickings for those guys, especially if they have anything like a DP or anything with a bunch of ammo. Thank you for the follow, Peyton. And they're going to go ahead and get a knock on Dark Knights. And as you can see, now they're going to push in from multiple different angles. Going to go ahead and get the thirst onto Godfaith. And now it is just down to, I believe it says Zam or Zom. I can't read the letter in between that one. Definitely try my best. And out comes Smokes to break the line of sight from the right-hand side. And here comes multiple amounts of frags. They're going to land right inside of that little hut. And there's really nothing you can do in that situation, especially with their vehicle. Like I said earlier, you don't want to jump bang in that thing. You actually want to have some kind of fighting chance. And when you're driving, unfortunately, in this game, you can't shoot. So your only option is to go ahead and switch seats and shoot out the passenger side. But not really the kind of situation you want to get yourself in with that vehicle being as low as it was on HP. So we're going to go ahead and see Parabellum move up to the top of the cliff right here. They're going to be looking overwards at GC778 just on the other side of this berm. And Team 20 is definitely hearing these shots just off in the distance. I do suspect that they're going to eventually rotate this way and possibly even try to third party this from the hills just right in front of them, kind of over near Azazel, I think. Can also see Most Wanted at the yellows just up the hill over there. They're going to most likely be placing shots over here as well. And we could see a knock over here onto one of the members from Team 20. And shouldn't have any issues getting that member back up. So I'm going to rotate back over here to Parabellum real quick. Off in the distance, you're going to see one of the members from, I believe it was Most Wanted, if I remember correctly. Gonna get the... No. Guess not. I'm going to say Team 20 ended up getting that one, and Parabellum is going to take down another member of GC778. That's going to now give them the opportunity to go ahead and start pushing forward. They've already gone ahead and pre-smoked to basically give them a little bit of help pushing into this compound. They're going to go ahead and start pushing up the stairs, and they're going to have to worry about 2 people inside of this one. And get the knock as they push through. Goes ahead and thirsts before their teammates can get over. And now they're going to go ahead and push back downstairs, try to take on the last. And here comes their final teammate pushing towards the door. And are we going to be looking at a 1v1? And I believe we are at this point. So who is going to win this battle? Is it going to be Parabellum or is it going to be GC778? At this point, they're both going for revives onto their teammates to give them just a little bit of advantage. And here we're going to go see. They're going to push forward, and he can't cancel the revive in time. So that is going to be it for Parabellum in this round. Very nice job right there to GC778 to go ahead and get the revive off. And then basically push as fast as they could up the stairs. And there was just really no canceling the revive fast enough. So that's what happens in this game sometimes. So we're about to see the next zone shift. Let's see if this one... Oh, this one's going to stay towards the Milta area. So Team 21's going to have to make the trek across that bridge. Fortunately for them, the gas station's still open, so it shouldn't be really too bad with the rotation that they have. They're really not going to have a whole lot of people in front of them. The compounds that... Parabellum originally had are open as well. So the only ones at this point that they may have to worry about is going to be Team 15, which is going to be GC778. They may have some kind of like angle over that berm if they get on top of the L building, but other than that, I believe they should be safe at that gas station. Let's go up here with these 2 teams. Going to be checking in with REA, and they are going to be crashed by, let's see, Team A, GC Killer. And right now, only one member still up. He's going to go ahead for a 1v3. Ends up getting a knock onto MZ, putting a bunch of bullets right there into Faith, but it was just too many people to go ahead and take all on at once. So right now, Alpha Force going to have a very good spot on the top of this building. Basically, what I look for when I get in one of the end zones, I basically want as high ground as I can, especially on the top of a compound. It'll definitely give you a one-up on everyone else. You want that overwatch, basically, to give out any kind of position, something to relay towards your team, and give you that much of an advantage over somebody else. Where is his other teammate, though? I still see 2 up. I just don't see the other dude. And REA is going to go ahead and rotate into the vicinity now. They're going to roll up right now onto Tiptop VGs. And doesn't look like they successfully landed any kind of shots on it before they ended up jumping out. So Tiptop VGs does have a member knocked inside the warehouse, and this is going to leave them just down to a 2-man. Hopefully they can get that one back up so they can provide some cover fire on these guys. And out comes the knock onto Blaze, and this is going to be a 1v1 maybe? Not sure if Monkey went down as well. Ends up jumping out the back of the compound window, and what is his name? Stop moving. I'm just going to say Mang because those are the first couple letters I can make out. And they're going to go ahead and take them down. And fortunately for them, they're going to have all 4 members still up for the final circle. Oh, there's the other alpha member. He's over there with Most Wanted. Definitely was out of my field of view. Thank you for the follow, Elias. Let's rotate over here to one of the members of the 100, Zuku getting knocked. And hopefully his teammate can get over here for the revive onto him. Everybody looking to get some kind of free kills. Definitely helps out in the long run. So, Alpha Force getting another kill. And Blaze getting knocked over there while he tries to cross the street, as well as Arrow. And this is what I was saying. This is why I actually love the DP. So he still has a bunch of ammo. Ended up taking out 2 of them as they went ahead and rotated. And he just went ahead and switched his gun and just trying to rack up as many free kills as possible. Out comes the DP again. He can't get out of that buggy fast enough. And then the 1 member for Team 10 is gonna be right behind these guys on the very edge of the zone. I'm gonna rotate over here to Most Wanted now. Check out the tail end of this one. And here comes Troy pushing up for Team 11. Gets the knock onto ADS right there. And I believe this one is now just gonna be down to Senso. Thank you for the follow, Ghost and Med2TK. And Troy comes out, gets the thirst onto 2 of the members with that nade, so it is definitely now just going to be down to Senso right here. And as you can see, the one last member right there for Games King is going to be taken out by Team 14. That's going to be coming from Master Esports. And just off in the distance, let's go over here and check in with Team 21. Bunch of battles going in over here by the Wizard Tower. And currently, I believe one of the members right now for GC778 going to be knocked inside the little, like, inspection hut right here. Other than that, I believe 2 members right now knocked for Team 21. As far as I can tell, they are now back up. Hopefully they have some meds. And here comes the push forward. Gonna run right into them with only 2 tires. Ends up jumping out, and they end up getting a knock onto 1. And Legend, I thought was going to go for the thirst for a second, but ends up getting the knock onto him and ends up landing the last couple bullets into his teammate as well. So GC778 is down to just a 1-man. Playzone ends up eliminating the last member right there from number 1. So definitely took out a bunch of the members from Team 15, which is very unfortunate. You always want as many standing as possible for this final zone to make it a little bit more easier on you guys. As far as I can tell right now, the 100 are going to have the most amount of people still up. And here comes a knock from Icon. This one is going to be a thirst onto Zuku with the nade. And in return, Icon is going to get knocked, which now leaves Team 14 down to a one-man. And everybody pretty much is on the same level at this point. So we're looking at two two-mans and three one-mans. So pretty much could be anybody's game at this point. They're just going to be playing it safe, trying to wait for people to go ahead and mistakes pop out, try to get some thirst off on somebody else, and then take advantage of it. So Marley's going to come out with the nade right there. Going to go ahead and claim the confirm onto Icon, which is now just going to leave it down to a Murta. And Masters Esports is going to be right here on the very edge of the zone. You can see it now moving in. Gone ahead and pre-smoke the street, try to make the rotation forward. Let's see if he can do it. So he's going to go ahead and heal up and push forward. Marley's going to be right there to go ahead and place the last couple shots into him as the zone goes ahead and takes a chunk off as he runs forward. And this will bring us down to our final three teams this round. We are going to be looking at one member for GC778, one member for Alpha Force, and two members for the 100. Let me see in chat who you guys think is going to pull the victory off on this one. And like I said earlier, this could literally be anybody's game. For all you know, the 100 could go over there peeking against Alpha Force, and GC778 goes ahead and takes advantage of it. Let's go up here with the one dude on top of the roof, rocking the corn suit. Definitely one of the best camos in this game for this map, in my opinion. It's one of the things I remember in the very early seasons that everybody absolutely wanted. So he's going to go ahead and cross the street, try to play peekaboo in and out of the smoke, and GC778 goes ahead and gets the knock while he's not paying attention. And he ends up pushing in right on the last member for Alpha Force, ends up getting the shots into him. Unfortunately, takes quite a bit of damage on that one. And hopefully he can heal up in time before Marley now pushes over. We are now looking at a 1v1. He's going to go ahead and molly the stairs so he can't go ahead and push up. Jumps out the backside of the window and tries to place the shots on him like right off the bat. And that definitely would have been a very nice nade right there. He's going to go ahead and now push forward. Doesn't know exactly where he's at. And that's it. The 100 going to go ahead with a first round victory today. So very nice job to those guys. They're going to go out in first. GC778 going to go out in second. Alpha Force going to go out in third. Uh, I wish it would give me a team name right here. I do apologize. TMS gonna go out in fifth. Uh, IGL in fifth. And number one in sixth, and most wanted in seventh. That's going to round out your top seven guys. I'm just going to slowly scroll through it so you can see where your teams ended up finishing in this round. And I believe they do about 10-minute breaks in between matches. So stay tuned, all you team leaders currently watching the stream. Codes will be out momentarily. And we're going to go ahead and get the next round set up for you guys. Take a short break. And we will be back in, I think it was 10 minutes. Hi guys, welcome back. Let's go ahead and kick off round number 2. Going to be playing Miramar this round. Let's go ahead and figure out the plane line this round, and we are going to go from Impala all the way past Monte Nuevo. So we should have a pretty decent line, and I do suspect that we're going to see a lot of the teams spread out. Real question is, where is the zone going to shift away from this? The main thing I just don't like about this map is the really long rotations. And not to mention, it's not very fun to drive in either. So we're already going to get the abundance of our teams jumping out right there around the middle area. And it looks like we're going to have most of the teams heading to the south. Where you guys think this zone's going to go? I'm going to say the west. I don't think it's going to go too far up or down. And I'm wrong. Like, really wrong. This one went all the way to the north. So right now, all the teams still floating in the air towards the Hacienda area, as well as Power Grid, Graveyard, all the stuff right there. Definitely the right call off the bat, but it's really no telling where this thing wants to go. Let's go ahead and check in with these two teams over here now, see what they're currently up to on top of each other. Let me bring the team slots back up, and we are going to be checking in with Masters Esports as well as Tiptop Black. And right now, Icon going to be kind of sandwiched in between a couple of these players from Tiptop Black. So let's see what the rest of his team ends up doing to provide some kind of help to him. And it is very possible Tiptop Black could just go ahead and single him out and just get the kill fairly early, making it easier for them in the long run on this one. Thank you for the follow, Lou. Let's see if they fall into his trap. Oh, I thought he was going to come out that door. Oh, so close. It sounds like they gave up on trying to find him. They definitely know Icon's there. They're searching real hard for him, just trying to single him off away from his team. What's up, Pollux? How you doing? Thank you for tuning in once again. So they're now going to push back into the building. Question is, do they go back upstairs? Do they continue rotating? And they're just going to continue going. Definitely the smart move on Icon right there. In their minds, they're most likely going to think he rotated away somehow without them even knowing. So let's see what the rest of these teams are up to at this point. We are going to see a couple teams down there at Porto Paraiso, and that's going to be the 100 as well as, what's Team 9? REA. So they're going to be pretty close to each other as well, so I'm about to go check that one out, see what these two teams currently up to, and may end up rotating back to those guys and see if they end up battling it out before they go ahead and make their rotation towards the zone. So for any of you guys that stream yourselves, is it easier to stream on an iPad? Because I feel like the small little screen is not my best friend. Sometimes it's a little hard to make out some of the stuff I'm seeing on screen, like some of the names. So I know the iPads right now are on sale, so I'm just wondering if it would be worth the investment to go ahead and get one more capture card and an iPad. So out comes a knock from Zuku onto Faith with the nade. Ends up taking quite a bit of damage himself in return. And let's see what ends up happening with this one. Can they go ahead and get the revive off, or are they going to go ahead and get the thirst? So here we go and see MZ making the rotation down, get tagged up quite a bit, bringing them down to literally nothing. Ends up being knocked right there by Marley with the mini. Thank you for the stream like, Nicole. So that's going to go ahead and leave REA down to a 2-man right now. Can MZ get inside the compound for Lang to get that revive off? And Monkey going high on these guys. Let's go ahead and check in with him. Get a first-person view, trying to get a shot through one of those window slats, and gets knocked by Zuku with the Scar. And I do hear a vehicle off in the distance. And Will is gonna push forward now as well. Ends up getting the thirst onto him. And MZ was fortunately able to get back up, so that is gonna bring this team to a 2-man. Fortunately, they didn't lose him as well. Otherwise, it would have been very, very, very hard for these guys later on. So in the meantime, let's go up here with Parabellum as well as GC Killer. And these guys are going to be battling it out between each other. All right, so zone is now going to start creeping in. We are going to see the abundance of teams rotating in from the southwest. So we're definitely going to see quite a bit of action in probably the next minute. So I will definitely try to get as much of it on stream for you guys as possible and make it so you can see what your teams are up to. Do apologize if I do miss things from time to time, but you just really can't get everything as much as I try. It's just sometimes it's a little tricky. So I think I just saw one of the players from Parabellum make a very wide flank. So he's going to be on the hills directly behind GC Killer right now. As you can see, he's trying to land those last couple shots on the one member in that small little compound right ahead. So here comes a zone, and actually the team's kind of rotated in more, leaving that like kind of free area right there for these teams to rotate into. And tries to prime the nade. and thinking he was going to rotate in this direction, ends up going back to the other side. And what is that? QBI getting a bunch of shots landed on him by one of the members from GC Killer right here. They ended up coming out the back door. Tries to do a jump shot onto Hayward and just was unfortunately just able to land any. So now it is just going to be down to one person still standing for GC Killer. And as you can see, they're going to start popping nades and everything through the open windows. And here comes the push upstairs. And gets a knock onto one. And that is going to be it for GC Killer. Definitely a very nice attempt right there at the end. As you can see, one knock, bunch of damage on the second. And it just happened to be the third that was right there to go ahead and land the last couple shots. That's normally where it starts to get hairy. You're going to run out of ammo of your first, so you're going to want that secondary to pull out. And depending on what that is the bad part. So we're not really going to see too much of a zone shift on this one. It's only going to go to the east a tiny bit, so it's still going to stay pretty centered up on Del Patron. So right around the drop, we're going to see a few teams as well. Most wanted going to be almost right in the dead center of the red zone. And I don't know as many of you that are currently watching that don't know this. If you ever see the red zone in a classic on the map, hop in a car and go ahead and rush it. Red zones always land on top of people. As you can see, it just shifted to the other teams down there again. So it's always a dead giveaway if you're driving around in classics, just trying to look for kills. Drive to the red zones. So that's just a little tip from me to you. So here we go with the couple teams rotating in from the west. I'm going to go ahead and check in with these guys, see how close they end up rotating together. And right now we are currently going to be checking in with Heart Shift. And here comes Team 12 rotating into the vicinity. This is going to be Knockout. And do they go ahead and stop or continue going? And fortunately, here comes the rest of the backup for him. And Team 12 is just down the ridge. I believe they may have ended up hopping out of the vehicle to go ahead and scout the compound just below. And ended up hearing one shot come out from one of the members just up the hill for Team 20. And now we're focusing their sights over in this direction. Thank you for the sub, Faye. Let's go ahead and rotate back here. Hear a bunch of shots coming out of that SKS, trying to see what he's aiming down the sights at. And I always kind of find it weird. If you look, let's say we cut the circle in half. There's no teams on the northern end of this one. I don't know why. So, real question is, does everybody think the circle is rotating to the south? Because by the way they're all lined up, that's definitely what it looks like at this point. Let's go over here to these guys. And they are going to get some shots landed on them by one of the members from Team 21. And they are going to be third-partied by Tiptop White. So Cryptic was trying to get away as best as possible. And the rest of the team's going to rotate away. So that is going to be a free kill for somebody. Question is CN1 going to go ahead and steal it? Or is number one going to go ahead and get it for themselves? So we're going to go ahead and see a shift to the east once again. And we are going to have a very big battle on the western side of this one. It's going to be probably no time from now, but it is going to be crazy. Oh, he's coming back for the revive, letting him know that he is safe. Can they get it? And he gets there just in time. That is what I call teamwork. Every other team I have ever seen would have left that to go ahead and bleed out. So I do give him props on that, to getting back just in time to get him back up. Hopefully that does help them out later in this one. That's the kind of stuff I like to see. So we're now going to go ahead and start seeing all these teams from the western side make their rotations in. It's going to be pretty clustered in probably the next 30 seconds. So you can see Team 19 rotating directly into Team 12. So I'm going to go ahead and switch to these guys, see if they end up fighting this one out. And this is going to be between Knockout and Tiptop White. You can also see number 1 just across the way. Let me go check in with these guys. They have the perfect opportunity to go ahead and third party. And they just came too short. If they would have came over the top of the hill, I promise you they would have had a bunch of kills. So Distress going to come out with a knock onto Invincible just across the street. And Hurley was right there, ends up being taken down by, I believe it was, what, Nico? So at this point, Knockout is going to be in a vulnerable position, and they're going to have pretty much teams all around them in a circle. And Distress going to go ahead and get the knock onto one. As you can see, he is definitely trying for the thirst on him too as well. So zone's going to start to come in, and we are going to go ahead and see a slight shift down to the southwest. Most Wanted going to be pretty much dead center on this one, as well as Team 11 just barely above them. And we're going to see a bunch of teams coming in from the north, right above Team 11 as well. And let's see if I can get down here to Team 14. I believe they were battling it out with someone, and then the play zone ended up rotating in, getting a few kills down here. And there is going to come a knock from Tiptop VGs just off in the distance for Team 5. Going to go ahead and get that thirst on to Golden to give them some more points early on in this. And I believe it's just going to be down to Omerta and Sin. Omerta going to be a little farther up the hill away from his teammate. Hopefully he can catch back up in the meantime. Thank you for the follow, man. And let's go over here with Team 11 now. This is going to be I'm going in. So we did see one of the members from Team 10 slowly rotating over. That's going to be Game Kings. So they are literally just over the hill. You can hear them pop in the little bus. And their teammate's going to be right there on the left-hand side of this mountain to provide some cover fire, and definitely made them think twice about trying to land some shots on his buddies over there. Gets him down to just a couple HP. Unfortunately, wasn't able to get the knock. It had to be maybe one more bullet at the most. He laid down just in time. So we're going to go ahead and see a knock coming out from one of the players from going in onto Games King. And here's going to be the second knock. And we are going to be looking at a 1v2 between Games King and I'm going in. Black gonna put out, I believe, a nade right there in the middle of that smoke. Ends up almost getting the knock onto Troy. And Most Wanted trying to get their nades just over here into the smoke to get some free kills, trying to third party it. It definitely had a bunch of distance on it too. And in the meantime, let's go over here and rotate up here with Dark Knights. I believe they are currently taking on the 100. Evil currently knocked for, actually 3 knocks for this team. It is just down to Hulk. Where is Hulk at? Let's go ahead and take a bird's eye view onto this man. And with the amount of nades coming out right now, it just sounds like constant thunder in my ears. So Hulk ends up trying to push up on the right-hand side, does successfully land a good chunk of bullets onto him, but just wasn't able to get the knock. So they're going to go ahead and have like 8 kills so far for this round. So the 100 definitely rocking it out this round. And let's see what everyone is currently up to. We still have 12 teams still up. And as you can see, they're all going to be on the northern and western side of this zone, rotating in at this point. And I believe, what's that? Team 20 going to have, I think, the only compound inside of the zone. And I believe Team 13 also inside of it as well. So let's see if they end up battling it out momentarily. Other than that, I do suspect that we're going to see some battles right here from Parabellum and Most Wanted as they make their rotations in. Let me go with the team that's inside the zone, so they don't really have to move. They just have to sit back and wait for everybody to come to them. So as you can see now, Alpha is going to be moving in on these guys. 2 of them going to be peeking the hill directly in front. And you can see the rest of the team is rotating on the bottom side of the hill. And the last player, I believe Nico right here for knockout, is going to go ahead and get a knock onto one of the members from Alpha, which is going to bring them down to a 2-man, I believe. And now that is going to be down to a 1-man. Ends up rotating through the blue zone late while his team is taking on I'm going in. They both end up getting knocked. One ends up getting taken out by the last player from Knockout, like I said, at the bottom of this one. Can he get over there for the revive, try to smoke these guys out? He should have the opportunity to do so. It does look like Team 11 did end up backing off. And now that they ended up taking the team out behind them, they are now going to be pushing forward towards Alpha Force. And I think they're just looking to control this area for now. And basically just wait for these teams to start being eliminated as they rotate into the zone. And they're definitely doing the right thing here. You always want to pre-smoke, even with vehicles, to go ahead and make a safe rotation forward. And here comes the push forward from Most Wanted. And they are going to get knocked from the 100 right on top of the hill. And they definitely have the bird's eye view over all of these teams rotating in. They're literally going to have to worry about nobody behind them at all. So that's going to make it so everybody's focus is literally on all of these teams right now. So Play Zone's going to go ahead and eliminate Sleepless from Most Wanted. Down goes one of the members for I'm going in. That is going to go to Will. He's going to get the knock and the thirst. The other player going to go down to the Play Zone, which now brings us down to our 4 final teams this round. And we are currently going to be seeing Team 13, which is Second Life, taking on Team 20, which is going to be Hardshift on the inside of this brick building. And gonna try to come out with the nades, and it's gonna... I thought he was about to run into it. And I just could not get there quick enough. So basically got stormed by 2 players. They're gonna control this compound to themselves But this zone's going to go ahead and rotate out of that one and towards the 100. So we're going to be looking at a 4-man still up for these guys. 2-man for Steam 13, Second Life, and a 1-man for Most Wanted. Senso definitely has the very good idea to chill over there. All he has to do is wait for the 100 to go ahead and take down the last 2 players over here, and he'll get his team a second place finish. And here comes a knock onto one of the players for the 100. They're going to go ahead and push in after that. And Senso's going to go ahead and, I believe, stay outside of the zone, try to heal up. And Nadal's going to go ahead and get a knock onto Zuku, gets the thirst onto him. And that is going to bring the 100 down to 2 men still standing, 1 knocked. And we're looking at a 2v1. Out comes the nade, and it lands right in front of Senso. So I believe that's 2 games in a row that the 100 have won so far today. So definitely a big shout out to those guys. They are definitely on point today. So we're going to go ahead and get our 3rd round set up for you guys. Be back momentarily. I'll leave it on this screen for just a little bit. I'm going to go get a refill on my water, and we will be back. Hi guys, welcome back for round number 3. Do apologize for the late start on my end. I'm going to be playing on Vikindi this round. Plane line gonna go from, well, I can't read it with all the teams right on top of the city, but it's not gonna be too bad for what this map is. So my only concern with this map is it's sometimes hard to find vehicles, but the loot you get literally makes up for it. This map, Sandhawk, even Miramar. Miramar's only bad for scopes, in my opinion. Sometimes you will find them, but I don't know what it is about Erangel lately. Like, if you play on normal loot, it's hard to find anything. Like, I have to go through 8 buildings to find like an AR lately. I don't know what's going on with it, but in my opinion, they definitely need to rebalance that map. What's up, Sonia? How you doing? What scrims are you guys playing in? I'll come check you guys out when this is all over. Let's go ahead and rotate up here to Parabellum and GC Killer. They literally going to be right on top of each other at this point. We're going to have a couple of them on top of the rooftops trying to get a bird's eye view onto some of the players over here for Parabellum. As you can see, Stress going to be off in the distance. Azazel going to be in the compound by themselves. And GC Killer staying just a little bit more closer together, whereas Parabellum is, in my opinion, going to go for more angles. I prefer the more angles because you'll get the random shots through the windows that people aren't suspecting. Especially on this map, you will get a lot of that. So we're going to go ahead and see a 2v1 comes out with the Bison. And for all of you don't know, the Bison is nasty. 53 rounds, silencer. Put a 6-time scope on that thing. It has no recoil. So if you haven't tried it yet, go ahead and do it. You won't regret it. So we're going to go ahead and see another knock onto Parabellum. And they don't even have a vest or a helmet. So that's going to give them the opportunity now to go ahead and push forward. Let's see where Stress is currently at. Has the very good decision to just go ahead and back off of that one. It does get tricky. Like, oh no, this zone shift is horrible. That's like over half water. I'm sorry, guys. And they're going to go ahead and thirst their kills. And at least they're still inside a zone, though. So they really won't have a whole lot of movement to go. Hopefully this one stays out of the water. I don't want to see a water ending. It's not fair to you guys. So I think I got to this one just as soon as it finished. And I'm not sure who the 100 we're taking on over here, but they have 4 kills, so it's definitely going to be a squad wipe. I apologize for not getting to it fast enough for you guys. But if I was definitely one of these teams right now, I would literally drop everything I'm doing and head for that crit chest area. That's going to be the hot spot for everybody to going to try to rotate to. Like I said earlier, I just hope this one stays on land. I'm going to check in over here with Team 7. This is going to be Tiptop Black. I saw them rotating by Team 6 just a second ago, so I wanted to see if they were going to go ahead and crash or possibly even get some shots landed on them. And just going to continue their rotation. Let's go ahead and check in with Distress over here. Coming up on Team 13, they end up landing a bunch of shots onto him. Just down to a couple HP now. Can he safely get away? And he's going to kill himself. Definitely just didn't want to give those points up to the other team. I do know how that is. Sometimes it's just better to die. Thank you for the follow, Chung. I think you are my lucky 900, so shout out to you. So that's going to give me what? 100 followers to go to hit my 1,000. So definitely appreciate all of you. And if you're currently watching the stream, if you haven't already, just pop into my Twitch channel real quick. Hit that follow button, and then you can head back to whatever you're currently watching on, whether it be Facebook, Trovo, or YouTube. Um, but definitely focusing my two efforts right now onto Trovo and Twitch. Twitch, basically, I don't really care how many viewers I have there right now. I'm really going for the follows, and Trovo, that's where I'm pretty much focusing my main efforts. I really want all my viewers to be there at this point so I can go ahead and try to build that channel up. So they're going to go ahead and get the knock onto Sin. And they're going to go ahead and move up, get the thirst onto him, and continue rolling to this zone. So Most Wanted rolling into what I thought was going to be what everybody would want out of this round. So in my opinion, they probably won't have to move for quite a while with that location. And then other than that, we're still going to have a couple teams down here. We're right on the very edge of the blue zone and kind of in it at the Hot Springs area. It's going to be Tiptop White in the blue zone, but right now it doesn't really matter a whole lot. And where is this fighting going down between CN1? There it is. He's got the old Halloween finish rocking on his car. I do see one of the members from CN1 getting pretty close to Most Wanted. And then just going to rotate back down the hill to his team. And off in the distance, I do see GC Killer as well. And Ecstasy coming out with a knock on themselves. Let's see where they are currently at. I must be blind. I don't see it on my map. So I'm going to give up for a second and just tune into this. We're not really seeing any kind of fighting going on. It's basically just rotating up to the very hard shift that we got out of our first zone. Um, Other than that, it's really just a waiting game since so many of the teams had to rotate up this way. So this round did start off a little bit slow compared to the two others we've had so far today. But I have a feeling these later zones are going to be insane. So most of our teams are almost out of the blue now. Alpha Force going to be pretty deep into the zone, and I believe one of the players from Tiptop White getting knocked outside of the play zone. We're going to go ahead and check in with REA over here real quick, and they are going to be taking on GC Killer. As you can see, Lang and MZ knocked in the top story of this one, and I believe it is now just down to Faith. They're going to go ahead and start peeking the top of the stairs, wait for their backup, and go ahead and all push at once, and just wasn't there to provide enough. I'm not sure if he ended up getting shot from below the balcony as well. It just seemed like those shots just went way too quick, so it had to be all three of them laying bullets into him all at once. I'm gonna go ahead and check with I'm going in. They are currently going to be taking some shots from their right-hand side from the 100. Marley now going to be pushing up on the rock. They're right behind. And I don't think that they knew there was one behind the, whatever you call that vehicle right there. But fortunately, I think Zuko and Will are going to be right there from two different angles as well. And they just kind of swarm on them pretty much all at once. And definitely probably saved Marley's life on that one. So let's see what the zone has in store for us now. Is it going to go out towards the water or is it going to stay towards land? I really hope it stays towards land. And it's 50-50, not as bad as before. And let's go ahead and check in with a couple players over here for Alpha. And we're also going to see Knockout directly in front of them. I think they ended up rotating into Masters Esports. Question is, did they lose them? So they are down 2 players, Nico and, what was that, Moji? And if they continue to rotate forward as they are right now, they're going to run right into Most Wanted. And that's going to go ahead and get them both killed. So very unfortunate on their part. So that's the main reason why I hate those vehicles. It doesn't take a whole lot of shots to blow them up, especially if they're already low on HP to begin with. It's pretty much a death trap in a rotation. I only use them if I have to, as well as the snowmobiles and the snow bikes. Other than that, Dacia, in my opinion, way to go on this one. And thank you for the follow, Monkey Fred. And I'll have to go check. I don't have the updated number right in front of me, but I think you're either 900 and 901. So definitely appreciated for all of the follows today, guys. So right now we are currently spectating Tiptop Black. They are going to be directly below Most Wanted, and they are looking in this vicinity. I'm just not sure if they actually know they're over here. They are down 2 members already, so I do suspect that they're probably not going to want to, like, place some shots on them, give their position away right now. They're just probably going to want to stay silent until the end of this one. And I'm pretty sure there's no flares allowed, even though there's a flare over here. So Most Wanted gonna be taking on the 100. Currently, Will gonna be knocked on the tree right there. As you can see, Sleepless trying to go for the thirst on him with the G3. And that is going to be a second knock for them now. Let's go ahead if we can push in just a little bit more. We also may have GC Killer rotating on these guys too. So we're looking at a three-way between these two teams. I believe now it is just down to Zuku still standing. Let's see if we can get in here, and it is just going to be too much firepower against one person. So the 100 is going to go out. And GC Killer is going to go ahead and claim their compound. I'm not sure if they ended up stealing the kills away from Most Wanted or not. Let's go ahead and see. So they have 4 kills. I'm not sure how many they had before the battle started. But as you can see, GC Killer has 10 kills already this round. And here we're going to go ahead and start getting our clusters of teams. We are going to check in right now with Heartshift, and they are going to have to battle it out with Alpha Force directly below them. They're going to be in the first floor of the compound they're directly inside of. Their one player is going to be cut off from the rest of the team. So, oh, never mind. It was just a 3-man. So let's see what Artie can do in this situation. He's going to just want to keep popping everything from making them come upstairs, block their lines of sight as best as possible, and just pretty much play defense. So they aren't going to try to press the stairs yet. I believe we're just going to see them waiting it out for a second and pretty much just figure out what to do in this situation. Artie's going to go ahead and jump out the top window, make his rotation in the smoke that his teammate put down, and that is awesome teamwork. And I do see a couple knocks coming out from Most Wanted, a couple of them going out to the play zone. Ooh, he almost ran right into him while he was third-person peeking that window. So one of them going to go ahead and jump out the top window, get the knock onto him, and now it is just going to be a 1v4. All right, so let's go ahead and now rotate over here to GC Killer. They're going to have to worry about Second Life directly beside them. But I think it might only be one person. The rest of them are going to be back quite some distance away from Ecstasy. And Alpha Force ends up getting knocked by the last member over there for, I can't remember the team name off the top of my head. But ended up getting the last player still standing for those guys, so nothing too crazy. As you can see, the one member for Team 7, this is going to be Tiptop Black, getting another knock onto one of the members from Alpha down there. He's going to go ahead and throw some mollies, hopefully get a lucky knock, and push up on the compound they're all currently inside of. And it's going to go for the thirst on the one. And gets the thirst on the, the knock on the second one. And just too many guys there for him. And I believe ends up getting the confirm on the second knock with the molly inside. Let's go over here and check in with Dark Knights now. And Team 19 going to be directly in front of these guys. It's going to be Tiptop White. So they're going to be just in the compound directly up the hill from these guys. So it does look like a 3-man up there. Whereas Invisible is going to be just off to the right-hand side a little bit. So it is going to be an even strength battle, 4v4. And here comes a knock from Ecstasy onto one of the members from GC Killer. So let's rotate back to this vicinity. Out comes a knock now on Ecstasy. And the thirst really quick. So hopefully they can get the revive right there onto God Faith, I think is what it says. And as you can see, just off in the distance, Nadal is going to go ahead and push forward. Gets a knock onto one of them or some GC Killers. This now brings them down to a 2-man. And as you can see, one of them is down there right on the corner. So they could technically be shot on the left-hand side. They're going to pop a couple mollies upstairs and most likely go ahead and make their rotation forward. And here comes the jump out the backside. Tries to land some shots. Gets the knock onto one. And now it is now all going to be down to just Nadal right here. It's going to go ahead and push out. That was so close. They were both so low on health that it literally could have been either team's game on that. So with that last member going out, that is going to bring us down to our 5 final teams for this round. Going to be looking at Masters Esports over there for Team 14. GC Killer over here, Team 8. Alpha Force off in the distance for Team 17. And Dark Knights just below, and Tiptop White off in the distance. So we do have 2 teams full strength. Out comes a knock right there from Hulk on one of the members for GC Killers. That now brings them down to a 1-man for the rest of this round. And here comes Alpha Force pushing down. They're going to go ahead and crash the compound that Tiptop White is currently inside of. Thank you, Brownie. And here comes a knock on one. It's going to give them the opportunity to go ahead and push upstairs. They're going to go ahead and molly the stairs so nobody can push up after them. And XT going for the revive onto their down teammate. Bring them back up to full strength. And let's see if Dark Knight's over to their left. Tries to third party this one. Gets some knocks. What just happened there? Evil coming out with the nade from Dark Knights. Getting a triple knock. That was insane. Now Tiptop White is going to be down to a 1-man. They're going to go ahead and sit right at the bottom of their compound and try to play some shots now onto Alpha Force on the second story. So they're going to go ahead and get the thirst onto the last down member. And here comes the push upstairs. 1 member for Alpha Force goes down. They do land a couple shots onto one of the members, and all 3 of them rush into the room. All you heard was Uzis for days. So they're going to go ahead and get themselves 9 kills so far this round. So they ended up getting 3, 4, 5 just in what, like the 30 seconds that we've been over here watching these guys. So CN1 down to a 1-man. Team 14 off in the distance. Masters Esports going to be down to a 2-man. So let's see who ends up winning this third round. Thank you, Monkey. I appreciate it. And Omerta getting some shots landed on him from across the street coming from Dark Knights. And Omerta ends up knocking himself with the nade, which is unfortunate. This is going to bring them down to a one-man. I really don't think Icon is going to be able to get that revive off with all of these eyes in this direction. Um, you never know. He could. They're going for a double revive at this point. Icon may have the opportunity to do so, but with as long as they've waited now, there's really no point in trying. So the only thing Amerta could do right now is try to relay some positions of the teams in front of them, and hopefully Icon can go ahead and try to work off of that information, get themselves some kills, possibly even get themselves the game winner, because Invisible is still going to be above Dark Knights right here on the second story. I'm not even sure if they, well, now they do. So Icon coming out with the knock onto Godfaith. Hulk ends up getting knocked by Invisible. This now brings Dark Knight down to a two-man. And in comes the zone. I think Icon might get this by default. And that is it. I did not see that round ending up that way at all. So very nice job for Icon. Go ahead and waiting that out, being as patient as possible, and gets his team the victory. So we're going to go ahead and get the fourth and final round set up for you guys today. And I believe we are going to head back to Miramar, or sorry, Erangel, if I remember correctly. So just stay tuned and we will be back, guys. All right, everybody, welcome back for the fourth and final round today. We're basically going to have a plane line directly down the center. This is what you want to see every time. Literally gives you almost everywhere to go. All right, so we are going to have an abundance of teams heading to the Yasnaya area. And other than that, looks maybe 2 teams at Rozhok. And 2 teams heading to military. Let me go up here to Rozhok and count how many different teams are here. So we got Alpha Force. We already gonna have a knock over here. I believe they were most likely going for a car. Ooh. Clan on clan violence. So all in all, I can count 3 teams right here. I do see another one off in the distance, so actually 1, 2, 3, yeah, 4 teams. So other than that, let's see what everybody's currently up to over here. So let me switch down to military real quick. So checking in with number 1, going up against Parabellum right here at the very beginning. They're going to go ahead and get a knock onto one of them, go ahead and get the thirst. And the rest of the team is just going to be a little too far away to go ahead and help out. Hey, we're going to be right there by like the little oil tanker things. And the other 2 just going to be back towards the silo areas. So if I don't see something come out of this in the next probably couple seconds, I'm probably going to switch up there to Rozhok to catch what's going on between Most Wanted as well as the other team that I can't see. Out comes a knock from Parabellum onto Dory. As you can see, Legend's going to go ahead and pop the smoke out, try to give them some cover. They may have to worry about Hayward over there by the little, like, I don't even know what that is, police station area. Little bunker thing. I don't know. But here comes the push forward from Distress, and they're going to go ahead and try to land some shots onto Safe right there. And Distress ends up getting the knock onto him with the Vector. And here comes Hate pushing forward. He gets the knock onto him as well. Now comes Dory. And Dory's going to be able to land the last couple shots with that M7 and give Legend the opportunity to now go ahead and push forward. And here comes Hayward from the opposite direction. They were not expecting somebody to come from here. We're going to be looking at a 1v1, I think. No, 2v1, sorry. And they're going to go ahead and get Hate back up now. They're going to go ahead and get some thirst off. And Hayward moving in the direction of his down teammate. Can he get the revive before they come over in this direction? So he's going to go ahead and get his buddy back up. This is going to give them 2 people to go ahead and try to win this fight with. As you can see, 3 members from number 1 pushing over on the left-hand side. Hate going to get knocked right there. And Dory is down on HP as well. And they're going to go ahead and double team Hayward. So it is now just going to be a 1v4. Legend's going to be on top of the silo, providing some overwatch right here for the rest of his team. And here comes the nade. And just a little too far. They're all going to be directly above him. Safe's going to go ahead and jump off and land the last couple shots onto him while up in the air. So very nice job to those guys. That's going to give them military base all to themselves, and they're really not going to have too far of a rotation away. Fortunately, some of Military Island is still within this zone. And let's go ahead and rotate back up here to the Yasnaya area and see if any of these 14s ended up going against each other. So I do see a player from Dark Knights currently knocked behind the compound, teammate going for the revive as we speak. What team are we missing that was over here earlier? Was it? Might have been GC Killers. So let me go over here and spectate in with Masters Esports. See if we can get something going between these couple teams. Out comes a knock from the Golden onto Godface with the DP. Not sure if he was the one that we saw that was knocked earlier when we first came over here to spectate. If so, that's very unfortunate. That means he's not really going to take a whole lot of rounds now to go ahead and knock out or knock down, and also going to bleed out much, much quicker. And here comes a nade from Omerta. This is going to be a knock onto Evil. And it's basically just a bunch of knocks over here. Nobody can get any thirds off. And nade's coming through the window. And I don't think it had it. I think it's a wall right there. So Sin went for the wide flank coming up behind Dark Knights now. So they are going to be pinned down inside that compound with literally nowhere to go. So Hulk most likely trying to land some shots onto Sin up on top of the hill. I do see a battle going in between the 100 as well as Knockout. So let's go ahead and spectate in on this one. Currently one member knocked for Knockout up there. Nice shots landed right here onto TRD. Not sure if he was low on health. I really wasn't paying attention, but it seemed like that, like 1 or 2 bullets, like 75% HP loss. So it had to be a couple headshots. So nice aim from which I assume was Kenzo up there on that left-hand side. Oh, that's why it's the DP. So currently, 3 of the players for Knockout going to be in the same vicinity of each other, whereas one is going to be singled out over there at the church. If the 100 find out about that, you will most likely see them swarm in on the one, try to take them away from the rest of the team. That's generally what I see a lot of teams do if they know somebody is singled out from the rest. Other than that, Zone's now going to go ahead and shift down to the southwest. So we are going to see, well, if it would let me switch over to it, REA and Team 20, which is going to be Hardshift. Pretty much going to be on top of each other. So I'm about to go over, switch to that one. We're still going to have those couple teams up there in the Yasnaya area. And we're getting some battles right here between GC Killer and Games King. So they're going to start rotating to the church over there at Pachinki. And it's just going to be too far away. So I'm going to rotate down here to REA. And what was the other team? Hardshift. So currently Sleepy knocked behind the little incline right here. Let's see what Artie's doing up over here. Looks like he may be going for a really hard flank, trying to come up behind the rest of the team. Maybe he can get a knock and they won't even know he's there. So I believe Lang coming out with a second knock now. This time it is going to be on Onion. He's going to go ahead and get the thirst on to that one rather quickly. So let's see if we can come over here and figure out where the rest of these guys are at. So the last two players for Hardshift right now, they do have pretty good locations right here on REA. If they end up just being patient and waiting this one out, if Zone goes ahead and shifts away from these guys, if they don't know they're there, they could just rotate into them and they could get some pretty easy kills out of it. We're seeing some knocks come out from up there at the Yasnaya area now. I believe I saw one come out from Dark Knights onto Alpha Force. So let's go ahead and see if we can catch the tail end of this one, see what's going on up here. And I believe they have all four members still up. I'm just not sure where the rest of Dark Knights is. So they're going to be on the other side of Yasnaya. So one of the players, what is this, N1, basically flanked all the way around, coming up directly behind Alpha Force over here. They're going to be on top of the 4 stack, and they definitely know he's over here, so they're just trying to figure out what exactly he's doing. I don't think he's got a vehicle over there, so I hope they have some smokes. They're actually being really patient. I'm surprised. Unless they don't know he's a solo, a lot of NA teams would have jumped in a vehicle and definitely gone up and pushed that. So at this point, we're just waiting for Zone to go ahead and start pushing these couple teams together. The only other teams that we have somewhat close to each other that we may see some action from within the next minute or two is going to be GC Killer and Game Kings over there outside of the Pachinki. When we left earlier, Games King was at Pachinki Church, and the other ones were just down the way at the warehouse compound with the L building just outside of it. Other than that, looks like Alpha Force, most of them have gone ahead and rotated out of this area, leaving one member currently on top of that 3 stack, waiting for N1 to go ahead and rotate out of that compound so they can go ahead and give themselves a kill. And here comes the shift, and this one is going to go up towards the ruins area. So let's go ahead and check in with number 1 over here. And they are placing some shots downrange at GC778. And here comes the crash. They're going to go right into REA. Jumps out of the vehicle, gets knocked almost instantly, and runs the vehicle right into Lang. And I think we are going to be on a 1v1. Lands a bunch of shots right there on the safe. He's going to go ahead and find some cover behind the door. And he ends up blowing it away, landing the last 1 to 2 bullets onto him. He's going to get his teammate back up and definitely go for the thirst after that. I'm not sure where the last member for number 1's at. Where is my map? Oh, he's going to be all the way over by the bridge. I'm wondering if he's AFK. Legend just sitting over here dancing on the rooftop. So, as you can see coming through the kill feed, Alpha Force ended up waiting up there for N1 to go ahead and leave that compound. They end up going ahead and getting the knock and the thirst onto him. And hopefully they have enough health to go ahead and make the rotation from Yasnaya over here to Ruins. And hopefully get a good compound. So I'm going to rotate over here to GC Killers again and see what they're up to against Games King over here. So Game King ends up rotating from Pachinki Church all the way to the warehouse below. They're also going to use the little rocks and little hill juts right here outside of the warehouse to the left-hand side. And let's see what goes down between these two teams. But other than that, I believe this might be it until the next zone rotation. Everybody is pretty spread apart. They all have their compounds, just waiting to see where the zone shifts to. And then they'll go ahead and accordingly make plans after that. So Will gonna come out with a knock onto a Murta. And let's see where these guys are at. So it does look like Omerta was singled out from the rest of the team. It's going to be kind of almost a little outside of Ruins. So here we go. Games King's going to jump into their vehicles, make the rotation now up to the Ruins area, try to get a spot in what is going to be a crazy zone. There's so many places, dips, everything all around Ruins to hide in. It makes for really good battles for end zone. So let's check in with the 100 over here now, see what these guys are up to. And they're going to go for the revive onto Will from what it looks like. I take that back. Knockout's going to come out with the vehicle explosion and take Will out. They're also now going to have to worry about Masters Esports coming down from Potato Hill over here. And, well, not Potato Hill. Whatever that one is, I hate it. I hate that hill so much. And Zuku gonna move into the area now, try to get the teammate onto his buddy. They are gonna be the last two up for the 100 in this round. And they're also gonna have to worry about Team 11. I'm going in not too far away from these guys as well. Golden gonna come out with the knock onto Artie. And I believe Zuku has been told just to leave his teammate back there. So let's go ahead and get a bird's eye view up on top of the hill. You can see CN1 PGs are now moving into the area. They have a couple knocks over here. And I believe two of their members are knocked as well. And Nas trying to work his way down the embankment. Team 13 is going to be rotating directly in front of him. No shots fired. Don't want to give that position away right now. And Tiptop VG's going to come out victorious right there, trying to come into the zone. They're still going to have to worry about Troy just behind them, peeking the side of the hill right there, but he's still going to be taking a bunch of zone damage. You're seeing a couple members from Alpha Force going out to the play zone. And let's go ahead and check in now with Tiptop Black. They're going to have a pretty good spot in the zone. They're just going to have to worry about a couple players rotating down from the mountain behind them. And Team 19 off in the distance as well. I believe they are going to have the compound just in the middle of the field. Other than that, I believe that may be the only hard cover in this zone. So I'm going in, jumping in the buggy. It's out of one back tire, already smoking, but they're just gonna go forward anyways. So Lang's coming out with the knock over there onto Josh. Let's see if we can try to get the tail end of this one over here. And Sleepless going for the revive. So fortunately enough for Most Wanted, they're going to have all four of their players still up. So we're going to be rocking 10 teams right now. Senso now getting knocked over there by ADS. You can see Tiptop Black going to be somewhat in that location. And Josh does get the knock onto him as he tries to come down. And ADS gets knocked in the process as well. So Dark Knight's losing some players to the play zone over here. I see Games Kings rotating in just below these guys as well. And they actually have a pretty good spot back here. There's not really a whole lot of teams. They're mostly going to be over to the right-hand side more. I believe they're going to be blocked by a little incline in the hill right there. So at least it gives them some kind of cover away from some of these teams. And all these guys right here are just going to be on the very tail end of the zone. It's pretty much going to be in this open field right here is where we're going to see all our teams rotating to. So Quality currently going to be knocked just above Team 13. I'm going in, only going to have Doctor still up for these guys. And here comes the push forward from Black for Games King. Gonna try to be placing some shots over here onto Second Life. And I want to say they ended up just getting Nadal's teammate. And here comes the rest of the three from the group. Out come a bunch of nades. And they end up taking out the last member for 100 Thieves just on the other side of the hill over there. So that is now going to be it for these guys. Games King came out victorious in this battle, and now they're now going to have to worry about Tiptop Black just above them. And let's see how this one turns out. So we're looking at our four final teams right here, guys. Games King right here for Team 10. Tiptop Black for Team 7. Most Wanted for Team 16. And Tiptop White for Team 19. Here comes a knock onto Senso over there, onto Most Wanted. Let's go ahead and let me just get a third person to be right above these guys. And as you can see, they're just trying to spray through the smoke, trying to get some lucky knocks. So XD is going to come out with a knock onto one of the members just on the other side of the hill. That's going to leave Games King down to a 2-man still up. And I think it's Lessie ends up running into the other team just on the right-hand side. As you can see, I think that's a nade coming out just in the direction of Silence up there. They are now going to be being pushed right here towards Tiptop White. So, going to be a knock onto Silence, a knock onto his buddy over there. Can he get into the smoke? Oh, smoke ends up going away. So it's going to be down to a 1-man right here for Tiptop Black against Most Wanted. And who is still up? Games King still had a member still up, and I didn't even see them. Ends up getting the revive while they're focusing their efforts over there on a Most Wanted. Does look like one member for Tip Top Black still up, going for the revive onto his teammate. This is going to bring it down to a 2v2 for our final. Question is, who's going to win? Is it going to be Tip Top Black, or is it going to be Games King? Here comes a shot, getting one knock right off the bat. Ends up getting knocked in return. Now we're going to be looking at a 1v1 for the final round. Fortunately for him, he does have that dossier right there for some hard cover. Ends up taking some damage from the zone, ends up forcing in, and just didn't have the health to put up the fight. So we're going to see a 4th round win from Games King right there. So very nice job to those guys. And that's going to be it for today, guys. That's going to be our 4th and final. So whatever social media platform, sorry, I had to stretch. Whatever social media platform you're currently watching on, if you don't mind, please go ahead and hit that follow button for me, guys. And if you wouldn't mind, head over to my Twitch channel. It's going to be SnowBack Gaming, as well as Trovo. Like I said earlier, those are the 2 platforms I'm currently trying to grow. So I definitely appreciate it if you are watching on them, or if you're watching on something else. Just stop into the channel, hit that follow button. Nothing too crazy, just helping me out. So that's going to be it, guys. I'm going to sign off, and I will hopefully see you guys again next week. So thank you for tuning in.